If everyone were to turn vegetarian, there would be several significant impacts on various aspects of society, the environment, and individual health. Here are some potential outcomes. Environmental impact. Reduced greenhouse gas emissions. Livestock farming is a major source of greenhouse gas emissions, particularly methane and nitrous oxide. If people shift away from meat consumption, these emissions would decrease, potentially mitigating climate change to some extent. Lower water and land usage. Livestock farming requires vast amounts of water and land for raising animals and growing animal feed. Transitioning to a vegetarian diet would reduce the strain on these resources. Decreased deforestation. Large areas of forests are cleared for livestock grazing and growing animal feed crops. Going vegetarian would reduce the demand for these practices. Animal welfare. A decrease in animal suffering. With fewer people consuming meat, there would be less demand for factory farming practices, leading to a reduction in the number of animals raised in intensive and often inhumane conditions. Food supply and distribution. Increased food availability. A vegetarian diet typically requires fewer resources than an omnivorous one, potentially making it easier to feed a growing global population. Human health. Improved health outcomes. A well-balanced vegetarian diet can be associated with lower risks of certain chronic diseases, such as heart disease, obesity, and some types of cancer. Nutritional challenges. While a vegetarian diet can be healthy, individuals need to be mindful of getting adequate nutrients like protein, iron, calcium, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamin B12, which are often more abundant in animal-based foods. Economic implications. Changed agricultural practices. With a shift in dietary preferences, there would be a need to adjust agricultural practices, focusing more on plant-based food production. Disruption in the meat industry. The transition to a vegetarian society could lead to significant job losses in the meat and livestock sectors. Shifts in the food industry. The food industry would adapt to meet the demand for more plant-based products, potentially leading to the growth of new businesses and industries. Cultural and social aspects. Changes in cultural practices. Many cultures have strong traditions and customs around meat consumption. A shift to a vegetarian society would likely lead to changes in these traditions. Increased awareness of food choices. People may become more conscious of their food choices, leading to greater emphasis on sustainable and ethical food production. It is important to note that such a hypothetical scenario assumes a sudden and universal shift to a vegetarian diet. In reality, dietary habits are deeply ingrained in culture and personal preferences, so any significant change would likely happen gradually and would vary across different regions and communities.